you were in band, right?
Yes.
All right. All right, you guys ready? Good.
Here is Daily Mono.
MoJo.
Sorry.
MoJo, moron.
The Daily MoJo Show intro version 62A438991.
Gonna be good.
Take 17.
Welcome to the Daily MoJo, your unfiltered wake-up call to truth. Brad Staggs, along with his irreverent yet plucky producer Ron, slices through headlines with sharp wit, faith-fueled fire, and zero spin. Grab your coffee. Let's make sense of the madness together. And now, His Royal Excellency and super nice guy, unless you get to know him really well.
Okay, wait a minute.
Please welcome Bradley J. Staggs. Come on, people. Let's hear some cheers.
No.
That's better.
No, it's not. No, it's not. And Ron, I don't think that Plucky works for you either.
Plucky? No.
You wanted
probably.
Plucky.
I didn't ask for
I don't think
Plucky.
Plucky works. I have it right here in my notes. Ron wants Plucky. Or is that a chicken order? We're trying out new. So it was a chicken order, not what you wanted in the opening.
Could have been, yes. I mean, we were discussing.
Okay, we'll make that note because we are all this week trying out new ideas for the open of the show. We've had the company that we hired, Sinking Ship. I think it's funny that the Sinking Ship Productions, get it? SISYN, Sinking Ship. And I'm like, okay, it was Ron's idea. You said your cousin did awesome.
They do.
Okay.
I mean, that
number
was,
2 there.
That was good. I like that.
Yeah, I think it's a little too royal. Yeah. I mean, I know you like the royals, and
His Highness Bradley J. Staggs.
It's not as I don't. When you start talking royalty, I think of Don Lemon.
Oh, please.
That's who I think
Seriously,
of. And
dude.
this is the man.
Former CNN anchor Don Lemon has been warned by the Justice Department over allegations he joined a swarm of anti-ICE protesters who burst into a Minnesota church. And
That is untrue. I want to see the evidence that you people say you have of him busting into a church and disrupting a church service. Oh, the video that he did. Oh, you mean that? No, I don't think that's fair. You can't, isn't that against self-incriminate? You can't use the very video that Don Lemon shows himself busting into a church and disrupting the service and generally being just kind of a douche canoe overall.
Middle of Sunday service and accused a pastor of working with ICE. Lemon, who has been documenting the increase.
Why does he keep mispronouncing his name? Is he being hurtful? I mean, Lemon? But it's not just Don Lemon. He's French, isn't he? Isn't it Lemon?
I have no idea what it really is. I've never even heard Don say his last name.
Wait, you said you watched Don Lemon every night when he was on CNN.
I hate that freaking dude.
It's because he's gay, isn't it?
Douche canoe. No,
it's because he's gay. Why do you?
Well, he's black and
he's
gay.
Black?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So I can take either one of those, but you put them both together. You got black. Boy, you must really hate that new Klingon on Starfleet Academy.
I haven't watched the show yet.
Dion. Oh, I have. We'll talk about that.
Increasingly violent protests following the shooting of Renee.
The Klingon, the bird-watching Klingon makes Don Lemon very masculine. Very.
Nicole Good live streamed himself alongside demonstrators with the Racial Justice Network.
Okay, but here's the thing. You cannot, again, use the very video, pride from Don Lemon's delicate, soft fingers who no doubt he has that talent in his little finger like no other. You cannot use the very video that he shot, can you? I mean, that doesn't seem like it's very fair. Hold on a second. I have other video that Don Lamont. There we go. See, this is prior to Don and company going into said church, and I think this will right here prove that he wasn't out there with people he knew. He told us that he was, he just ran and. Well, he didn't say technically ran into them, but he was aware of what they were going to do, and he asked them, "Hey, can we be a part of your little posse?" And he had no part in the planning of it. What are you insane?
Thank you guys for allowing me to be here.
Yeah. Okay, notice how he slipped. Thanks for allowing me to be here.
Yeah.
Whoops. Tisk tisk. And then he
guys.
obviously,
Okay. All right. How are you? Good to see you. We're on.
he obviously doesn't know these people. Did you hear him when he kissed her? He said, "Yuck." Had to get that close to a female. So he obviously does not know these people. He greets them as though they are complete strangers. So I'm with him so far.
We're not saying what it is, what's going on, but
now, hold on, I'm going to back that up because it is important to hear exactly the context of what he and how he is saying it.
Thank you guys for allowing me to be here.
Okay,
thank you guys.
Okay.
All right. How are you? Good to see you. We're on. We're not saying what it is, what's going on, but thank you. Tell us why you're doing this.
Wait. So he knew what it was. We're not saying what it is.
Yeah, he knew what it was.
It's almost like he is trying to be underhanded and sneaky, almost like he's going to be on the down low. Now we know what the microphone flag means. Down low. Not what that means, what DL stands for? And what else would it stand for?
This is Nakima Levy Armstrong. She's on the show
Nakima
on
Levy
Friday.
Armstrong, civil rights attorney, longtime activist here in the community. And, we...
Not going to lie, I would like her as an attorney because she walks into the courtroom and she is going to scare the dog shit out of opposing counsel.
Yeah.
I credit where credit is due.
protest and do activism in all kinds of ways.
Yeah, we like to do activism. You like to do activism?
I do. Yeah.
Sorry, were you just lost in the moment there?
I was reading the
Dawn.
chat. Sorry.
Yeah. Are they saying something important over there? What are they saying?
They haven't got there yet. They're getting there.
Are they naked?
Well, they could
because they're naked, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is Operation Pull Up, more of a clan.
Wait, did she?
I'm sorry.
Hold on.
Operation.
This
what?
is Operation what? Let's. Can we rewind the tape there, Bucky? Bucky is our tape operator guy. He's in the back. Hold on, Bucky. Can you rewind that? Thank you.
It's attorney, longtime activist here in the
First time caller, long time listener.
Community. And, we protest and do activism in all kinds of ways. This is Operation Pull Up, more of a clandestine.
We do activism in all kinds of ways. And this is Operation Pull Out. A frustrated Minneapolis was unavailable for comment.
It's an operation. We show up somewhere that is a key location. They don't expect us to come there. And then we disrupt.
Boom! We get them on the DL, don't we? On the dingalingy. Maybe that's what DL stands for.
Business as usual. So that's what we're about to go do right now. We've had a lot of success with the times we have done Operation Pull Up.
Yeah. Is it pull out or pull up?
She said pull out the first time, I'm pretty sure, but I think it's Operation Pull Up.
After George Floyd was killed, we went to the Police Federation head's home and staged a demonstration there.
Because, why not? That's fair to go to somebody's private home. Somebody did that to you, I'm sure you'd be cool with it.
We also went to the head of the U.S. Marshals from Minnesota after Winston Smith was killed.
Who's Winston Smith? I missed that one.
Yeah.
By the U.S. Marshals. We went there after Dante Wright was killed when AG Keith Ellison refused to take the case. And we forced the prosecutor who lived in Stillwater to take the case by showing up there 4 times.
All right, so they do activism in a variety of different ways. And, of course, they went on to bust into that church. And just they did, and again, credit where credit is due. They did a wonderful job at being dicks, and possibly lawbreakers. Now, we all know and have shared quite often that the justice system in the United States of America is busted ass. Big time.
Yep.
And it needs it's on life support, and I think that's putting it mildly. And the problem is that we hear a lot of words coming out of the Justice Department's mouths collectively, but we don't see a whole lot of action emanating. They do more activism stuff than our DOJ does justicing stuff. I would have to say that that's a true statement. Now, if maybe something is going to happen, maybe Harmeet Dillon, who is what is her title? She's the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights, right? I think that's Harmeet Dillon's official title. She was on Newsmax. She had a couple of things to say.
General for Civil Rights at the U.S. DOJ. Harmeet, great to have you back on. This actually, the FACE Act, this could potentially be, I think it is.
No one gives a shit what you think. What's his name? Carl Higbee.
Yeah.
Is that Carl?
Yeah.
See, that's the problem. Is he a journalist or is he a commenter? I don't know.
I don't think he's a journalist because I think he's former military.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's just a mistake. I think I think it did. It's like, okay, if you're going to be a journalist, just journal.
Yeah.
Don't comment.
A blatant violation of these people storming a church, a violation of the FACE Act.
That would be the freedom of access to clinic entrances. It seems a little odd.
You're absolutely correct. The Attorney General reached out to me about this yesterday when I was on an airplane, and before I landed, we'd already scrambled the jets and gotten prosecutors assigned to this, as well as reached out to the FBI and had agents assigned and the U.S. Attorney's Office in.
For a second, I was like, wait a second, is she talking about a different case and I just missed it? And I was like, nope, there's Don Lamont's name up there at the top. Okay.
Minneapolis assigned
you
to.
ever do that? You're in the middle of something and you think, what the hell am I doing?
All the damn time.
Lately, it's been like the past 7 or 8 years. What the hell am I doing? I have no freaking idea.
Wow. Sometimes I do that when I'm driving. Where in the hell am I at?
That's always safe.
Yeah.
Road hypnosis. Then you forget, you get the wrong exit, and then it's a nightmare. Then you can't remember where you're supposed to meet your grinder date. Sorry, Ron. I keep forgetting.
So there are already several law enforcement officials working on this as of yesterday evening. What people need to understand about the timing of arrests is we're a little bit different than the state prosecutors who are, I think, frankly, refusing to do their jobs at this point. I
would agree with her there. That is the other part of this whole equation that is absolutely faffoed. And you've got a lot of law enforcement out there in Minnesota. And you've got Keith Ellison, who is was he the first or second state official to swear his oath of office on a Koran? It bugs me. It bothers me. Am I intolerant? Does that make me intolerant? Does that make me
You know what, though? What I find
racist?
ironic about it is they swear on the Koran, but they swear to God at the end of the thing. I was listening to Mom Donnie.
God can be. I mean, technically, God is not God's name.
Okay.
God is Yahweh. But God, to them, I guess Muhammad could be God. I don't know. Maybe it's just a different. Maybe what they're saying is little g God.
Maybe.
Because I thought the same thing,
Yeah.
and it's a little. Again, it's disconcerting.
But
Because of what we know, we keep being told it's a peaceful religion, and I know some peaceful Muslims. So I know some Christians who are dicks. I know some Muslims who are sweet, sweet people. And I'm trying to think if I know any that are just complete a-holes, and I can't think of one. I mean, aside from, Cal. But is it more about the person than it is about the religion? Are they? Is it taqiyya, right? That's the principle that the Muslims can use to lie to anyone if it's about hey, keeping things on the straight and narrow with Allah. So you got that. And, one of the basic tenets of Christianity is don't lie. Just overall, don't be a dick is one of the great tenets of Christianity.
To get federal judges to sign off on arrest warrants before I can arrest somebody. So today's a federal holiday. And
this is yesterday, just so you know.
If it weren't, we have, certain slow rolling of things we're doing there. But
I would rather they get it right than get it quickly.
You were stuck.
Okay, and I went through a whole thing this morning. I mean, I went through an entire bag. Hold on. Yeah. My camera's not the only thing stuck right now. Stand by one moment, please. This will be interesting. And I don't, and I thought I'd fixed some things, but how do you spell synergy? There we go. Sorry.
No.
There we go. There's that. Aha. All right, now I go over here and hit this and hit that. Sorry, you're listening to the program right now. It must be very exciting for you because you have no idea what the hell we're talking about. And that's okay. Sometimes we do stuff. We're silly that way. We're just kind of wacky. All right, I think we're good. So anyway, what was I saying before I so rudely interrupted myself?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Thanks for keeping up with that. Okay, over to the chat room here, the Rumble chat room, Damn It with Beaver. And by the way, if you'd like to be part of the chat room, it's an entire community of people who are about as frustrated as you are with everything that's going around the world and in their lives, and how the hell do we fix it? That's the biggest question that we all deal with on a daily basis. How do we fix it? Because I can guarantee you it is not going to go away, no matter how much we try to ignore it. Damn it with Beaver. It's time Dad pulled the belt and put the kids in their place. Yep. Man, I remember the belt. Oof. When you heard the belt buckle clinkle?
Or when you heard it exiting the freaking belt loops. That was the big thing for me.
Breaking the speed of sound.
Yeah.
And my dad was well, he wasn't I shouldn't say that. Honest Ray wasn't a kicker, but he did a couple of times. And I probably brought it on myself because I was like, and
dancing.
And you're trying to grab a 7-year-old, 6-year-old, whatever, how old I was, kid, and they're just all squirming. You got only a few appendages you can start using to whack them. Foot happened to be the most efficient way. I still remember it. So apparently it was effective. Sure, rat bastard over in the Rumble. These activists are now calling police to report ICE officers are driving to the following activists' home while being followed. Freaking the F out of them, LOL. Now, there was also a story that I saw yesterday afternoon. It had a very sensational headline. I think the it was Newsweek that had the headline that the ICE officers ate lunch at a Mexican restaurant and then came back and made arrests.
Oh,
making
at that
them
restaurant, yeah.
Yeah. And if you read the rest of that story, let's see. Yeah, so here's from TV6. ICE agents detain workers at Mexican restaurant after visiting business for lunch. Okay. Which, the way it was phrased in these stories, the first impression you get is dicks.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, ICE age, they have lunch there, and then they arrest the people. What kind of putzes are these? Well, A, they have to eat, and B, they were also performing, what do you call it when you're watching a suspect? Surveillance.
Surveillance, yeah.
It's a big word. I need to throw at least one of those in during the morning because that makes me feel and sound much smarter. So they're performing surveillance on some of the suspects who were apparently working at this here restaurant in Wilmar, Minnesota. A Mexican restaurant in Minnesota closed after agents with U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, ICE, visited the spot for lunch, then detained its owners and another worker, El Tapatio, which, of course, Ron, as you know, in Spanish means?
No.
The little peepee.
Okay.
What? Okay. Mexican restaurant in Wilmar closed early Friday after the agents visited the spot for lunch. The agents later returned and detained the restaurant's owners and a dishwasher. You have a dishwasher there in your room, right, Ron?
Not in my room.
Really? You don't let her come into the room there. You make her wash the dishes in the kitchen. That
Yeah.
See what I did there? See, she can't reach me.
Yeah, no.
You know what? She'll just take it out on you. I just wanted to make sure a 20-year-old white man who, excuse me, I inserted the white part there. I don't know if he's white or not. 20-year-old man who says his parents own the restaurant planned to reopen the business Saturday morning under his leadership. Just wanted to make sure everything was okay. And apparently it's not, because they're closed now. And it turns out that the dude that they were going after, let me see if his name, he has been arrested for, twice for assault, once for DUI. And did he also get it for not showing up for a
Court date or something?
But whatever the court date is, they give people who come across the border and say, hey, show up in 6 months in the court and we'll discuss your case. And then they just never show up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's the lengths to which the mainstream media and the lefties will go to make it sound like they're just, you know what? This guy was coaching his kids' softball game. They just came in. They ripped it right. I was about to show little Billy how to hit a home run. Sure. And no, that's not it at all. These people are criminal. Well, and they're criminals even if they aren't DUI or for abuse or anything else. If they are in the country illegally, that makes them a criminal. And I'd say we have a little bit of a problem here in this country right now with people who are breaking the law.
Yeah.
That's the part that amazes me, that all of the crying lefties out there will get behind and defend these people, and they just don't care that it makes them look like fools. It doesn't seem to matter to them, which, again, baffles me. And I will never completely understand the brain or the mindset of these wackadoodles. Sound Sultan says, we are all on another list now. Huh. Okay. If you want to get involved, the hashtag to use, what I learned today, apparently they're still a thing in 26, so we'll keep running with it as long as we can. And we're on the Rumble. If you're listening later during the podcast, we have a live stream that we do every weekday from 8 until 10 Eastern time. And then you can find us on, we're on YouTube and Rumble, and we're everywhere you want to be, quite frankly. And if you are listening and or watching to us now in either live or recorded form, and there's a like button, please just do us a solid and hit it.
Wherever
it's supposedly,
you're watching, please.
Wherever you're watching, there's got to be a thumbs up or a plus or whatever. I mean, it's just nice of you to do that, and it does help us out. Slightly Venomous Kirk says, not gay. Ron wants Plucky, huh? Makes sense as Plucky goes down the hole. Why did you want him to use Plucky to...
Just a word I chose at random.
Rhymes with
Random.
mucky?
No, I don't know.
Rhymes with ramum? Plucky rhymes with ramum?
Random. Random and random.
Okay. Dark Magneto. Our automatic tip catcher there, somebody goes off and it's like, oh, somebody sent us money somewhere. We just don't know where. Can catch an illegal alien on an empty stomach.
Can't.
I think you meant can't.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with, and since for the tip, I'm going to correct your grammar and not even criticize you. Can't, actually, I'd be spelling. Can't catch an illegal on an empty stomach. But again, the point being, these people that they're going after are not, it's not Grandma and Grandpa Wiedelman down the street who have, they're just, all they've been doing their whole life is just getting up and going to work, and they've been not broken any laws. Think again. And again, are there going to be... Yep, there are going to be mistakes. Are these ICE agents perfect? Nope. Not by a long shot. But somebody has to do it. I don't want to be the one out there doing it. I do not envy these guys and ladies a bit. And I do. We criticize, or excuse me, we critique and comment on law enforcement when it is appropriate. And I think there's a lot of law enforcement out there right now who are complete a-holes and do it wrong. There are some who do it good. Shut up, Dark Magneto. I heard you try to correct my grammar there. It's not going to work. You're not in my head. But the thing is, we have to fix the problem, or it continues to get worser and worser. And at some point, I'm guessing that, you know, the amount of money we owe in this country, $37 trillion and counting, the amount of money that we owe in this country for all of the things our government does, at some point that bill is going to come due. And we keep being told that when it does come due, it's going to be, you know, a disaster. Cats living with dogs, blood in the street. But we were told that was going to happen at 10 trillion.
Yeah.
Hell, we were told that was going to happen at a trillion. Remember when we're at $1 trillion? Remember when that sounded like a lot?
I don't remember when we got there, but I remember it sounded like a lot. Hell,
it is a lot.
It is a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot, but it's been normalized. Like everything else, it's been normalized, and that's the dangerous part is when you normalize it and then people go, no big whoop. And I don't know what happens when we read the list of what AI says will happen when on the day that the music dies and whatever. But I don't know. I mean, what does it really look like that day when everything goes down the hole? You're going to want to be in good physical shape. I'm going to tell you that. You're going to want to be in better shape than the cadets on Starfleet Academy. That's the other thing. See, that's the problem with Starfleet. I watched the whole thing. I watched 2 episodes of it. Is it as horrible as... No. I mean, is it good? Is it mind candy? Yeah. It's mind candy if you can get past some stuff.
Yeah.
But the logistics of it in that, you know, the body positive stuff, the fat people that are running around on the Enterprise, it's the military, for crying out loud. And if you're not in good shape, if you're not healthy, you are not doing yourself any favors, and you're certainly not doing the people around you any favors that are depending on you in times of war, especially if you're, again, in the military. Even in regular old life. If you're not in tip-top shape, hey, it's not so much it's look at the people around you that love you. Do it for them. You do it for Johnny. StellasMojo.com, that's the website. And, you know Stella's name, what's that say on her jacket? Rehoboth Medical Center.
Yeah.
That's Maryland, right? Isn't that where Dinglenuts, the former president, has his house? Isn't it?
Yeah,
Delaware.
But I think, in Delaware, but I don't think that's where she's at. I think she's in Houston.
Does she know is she camping out with Joe Biden? Is that what I'm hearing we're saying about Dr. Stella?
No, she's in Houston.
Okay. Anyway, go to StellasMojo.com. She is, again, they tried to cancel her during the Rona. Did not work. As a matter of fact, she wore the badge proudly, and she was the #1 prescriber, I believe, of ivermectin in the country. She was like, hold my beer. Anyway, she's a good one. She's a good doctor, and she's a person who is, she says what she means, and she means what she says. She's not afraid to stand up for what she thinks is right. And if you support that sort of a business model and that sort of a person, then Stella's Mojo is probably for you. She has vitamins. She has the anti-schmutz spray that keeps it's all about keeping your immune system in tip-top shape. Don't end up like Ron. I mean, look at him. Poor thing. How's your immune system doing?
Wonderfully. Thank you for asking.
Yeah. Okay. Can you run a mile, you think?
Oh, dude. Probably not right now.
Don't you want to be able to?
Yes.
What are you doing to make that happen?
Walking right now. I don't know if I could run a mile. I mean, I can walk a mile.
What if there's an alien chasing you?
Then I would run as far as my body would take me. I don't know. Alien?
And again,
Bigfoot maybe, but not an alien, I don't think. I don't know.
I mean, again, all I have to do is outrun your ass.
That's true.
And at least that you'll keep them busy for a while, right?
Yeah. There's plenty of me to go around.
I'm taking my Revive Immunolite that I got from Dr. Stella over at stellasmojo.com. And I saved money because, we buy it. I saved money by using the promo code DailyMojo. And I believe it's, I think it's 5% off for shipping or something. Anyway, you'll find 5%. Out what it is when you go to stellasmojo.com and get the stuff that's going to keep you in tip-top shape so you can outrun Ron when the aliens land at Rehoboth Beach in Delaware. That's happening later today, I think, too. They're going to land. They're going to start eating people. So get your order in today before the world ends. And as we like to say,
feeling like you've lost your spark. Nothing moves you, Justin Park. Get it back with just one call. 866-5400.
That's right. stellasmojo.com.
Stupidity is not a competition.
The whole island will become so
unless you're a politician.
Overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
The Daily Mojo. The Daily Mojo.
It never gets old when you hear Hank Johnson. He's a... Oh, was it?
Yes.
Did I do the wrong one?
Yes.
So prior to the break, apparently the
damn it.
Huh. It doesn't. That's not what it says on the button here. So I couldn't have been wrong because the button says what it's supposed to be, and that's not. Anyway, don't the number that was in the jingle. Don't call that number. Well, you can, but don't ask for Dr. Stella because she's not at that number.
Not at that number.
But you can get a stiffy. You can stand up at attention. Anyway, where was I?
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Where was I? Oh, yeah, outrunning you because the aliens are going to eat you. Missy13 says vitamin D is so important. Why do you... Don't do that to me, Missy. What do you mean, vitamin D? Stop it. Just stop it. Speaking of vitamin D, back to Don Lemon. Is anything going to happen to him? Do we think? Do we think that they are going to actually level charges? And even if they do level charges at Don Lemon,
other than just waste his time, nothing will happen to him.
But see, this is the beauty, and I don't think Don Lemon is a stupid man. I think he is a pretty sharp individual, and he realizes, as long as they're talking about you, baby, which part of me is like, well, then don't give him the satisfaction. But the other part of me is, it's just too much fun. And you have to call it out because, again, douche canoe and Le Mans, French. Seriously? Harmeet Dillon continued.
Enough video and evidence at this point to believe that what we saw and what we're seeing on the screen there is multiple violations of, at a minimum, the FACE Act, as well as other federal statutes. And so we want to bring as strong a case as we can against as many of the offenders as we can. And we are doing that with all due speed. And the Attorney General is personally checking in with me every couple of hours, and she is extremely...
I bet. Oh, shit, it's Bondi again.
Yep.
You want to tell her you're in the bathroom or in the shower? I had to shower this time. Bling! It's Bondi again. What do you want me to tell her? She's still going through the Epstein files? I think she is. She just takes a break every couple of hours to call me to see if I've got anything more on Don Lemon. Have we gotten the Epstein files yet, by the way?
I don't think we got all of them, no.
Yeah. Crazy, isn't it?
Motivated to make sure that we do justice in this case.
I mean, this would be excellent. I mean, I know I've been hard on Attorney General Bondi.
He just said hard on.
In the past for not arresting people. This would be a great start. The other thing is, I mean, this was used against people praying outside of abortion clinics under the last administration. So here's the thing.
That would be some delicious irony, would it not?
Yeah.
Unlike rain on your wedding day, the good advice that you just didn't take. But the very statute that those whack jobs over on the left were just so giddy about, because, you know, they were hauling people away in front of abortion clinics for praying. And I mean, what's worse? This is going to be a hypothetical. What's worse? What's more heinous? Sitting in front of an abortion clinic praying, or planting a bomb in front of an abortion clinic? Because I'm going to say that, they're not planting bombs. There are some whack jobs out there who were. But the people who are out there praying, and you're out there trying to make it sound like they are the problem, you better hope at some point that God is understanding and has something of a sense of humor.
Thing that I run into. I know you're a 2A person, but that also comes with a great...
Wait, you're a what?
2A.
I thought he said, I know you're a two-way person. Is she going to admit to being a lizard person? You're a two-way
level of responsibility. Personally, me, if I was at church, I carry my gun virtually everywhere I go. Anywhere.
Is he about to threaten he would shoot them?
Or that it's legal. If I was at church and I watched a bunch of protesters come in screaming at me, some of which may or may not have been carrying weapons, we know that people have been carrying...
He brings a very good point up here. Because you don't know.
Correct.
When they bust into your church, you do not know the level of crazy that's going on in their head. You know it's got to be close to 8 or 9, but you don't know if they've dialed it up to 11 yet. And that puts a lot of people on edge. I would imagine if we could... I have not seen the video of this in particular, but if we could, I bet there were some people that as soon as those doors opened and some people started coming in, there were those who were smart and just boogied on out of there. They're like, this could get bad very quickly, and we're gone.
These guns in the streets, as I was just talking about, I might be considering firing on one of them if they kick down the doors of my church. Where would the DOJ...
Did they kick down the doors? I don't know. I did not see that part.
I don't know that they did anything like that. But I do know that there are churches who have people in the congregation that carry guns to support the church.
Yeah.
I mean, Jerry, our buddy Jerry is one of them. At his church, he is strategically sitting in a specific place.
I don't know if the majority of churches, but certainly I would say most, if not all, of the larger churches have armed security in the lobby.
Yeah.
I mean, not hiding. But in addition to other people, yes, who are within the congregation and who are strapped.
Side if someone like me was in a position like that.
Well, so
they did some research beforehand. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say that they did some minor recon just to see if there were security guards, just to see if they did, in fact, have strapped parishioners, because I'm going to bet they wouldn't do that. Am I giving them too much of the benefit of the doubt? I don't know. Would they have done that had they known, or would they be willing, looking for another George Floyd moment, to take that chance?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a problem with crazy, man. You've got to factor in the crazy thought, too.
First of all, it's complicated because there are state laws that apply as well. In some states, it's not legal to carry a firearm in a house of worship. I think we can debate the appropriateness of that. I'm with you. I'm a Second Amendment advocate. I'd love to be able to carry my firearms everywhere, and yet you can't. So,
oh, yes, you can.
What we have seen in the Jewish community is that because they have faced numerous threats like this, they have pretty deep security outside every major synagogue in any blue jurisdiction to prevent exactly that kind of thing from happening. And so
there's a huge cost.
We can't have this in the United States. We have to have I'm embarrassed by that. It is a shame that in Los Angeles and in New York, people have to pay for their own security outside a house of worship when there are police stations nearby you pay taxes for. So I would have to wait and see the scenario before I could weigh in on that.
Right.
Police state is that? I mean, you hear the cries already. If you had the police there on the clock, people will be crying separation of church and state, right? That's what not that it applies, but that's what they'd be crying about. These people. Michaela's mom says, dumbass Lamont said that they were going to this church because they were supporting ICE, so he knew something ahead of time. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently one of the
knew.
pastors, right?
Yes.
Supports an ICE. something or another.
either works with them or is a lieutenant. He has some affiliation with ICE. And does that make a difference? Should it? You know what today is? That's right. It's time for Phil Bell, and he'll explain.
This is Phil Bell on the Daily Mojo with your morning update. Guess what day it is? It's the 1-year anniversary of President Trump's restoration to office and the return to American greatness. A year ago, we were a country mired in mediocrity. A year ago, we were a country with thousands of illegals streaming over our borders every day. A year ago, we were a country where many Americans had given up and were resigned to failure. But today, we are a country back in growth mode, and that is so exciting. Now, one aspect of that growth is the prospect of taking over Greenland, and that has been in the news a lot lately. I know there's a lot of people on both sides of the issue, but I want to let you know that I am firmly in support of President Trump on this, and you should be too. And that's for two reasons. First of all, it's economic. Greenland has a lot of rare earth minerals, and as you know, the rare earth mineral is critical in the development of cell phones, computers, televisions, and all of the gadgets that characterize our daily lives today. Now, as time goes on, yes, we may have less of a reliance on them, but until we do, our country should not be held hostage to China when they choose to turn the screws on us, and they will absolutely do that. And the second reason we should take over Greenland is because it is currently run by Denmark, which is part of old Europe. Now, years ago, old Europe and the United States were very much aligned in terms of defense, immigration, and our economies, but no longer. The United States has been a great economic growth engine, whereas Europe has fallen behind. The United States has a need to defend our own borders and our own region, whereas Europe has allowed itself to be overrun by immigrants from the third world, and they continue to do so. We cannot sit here and expect that Denmark and the countries surrounding it will say, yes, we're part of NATO, so we will do whatever it takes to maintain that. They are looking out for themselves first, and we must do the same. America first. And America first means that Greenland should become our next territory. So what I want you to do is leave a comment under the show. Let us know what you think about President Trump's second term thus far and the prospect of Greenland becoming part of the United States. And what I also hope you'll do is download the Daily Mojo smartphone app and enable notifications. That way you'll be up to date on the latest craziness and good stuff coming out of Washington, D.C., and you'll know how to share it with others. Stay sharp, stay strong, and stay free right here on the Daily Mojo.
Before you go, remember to hit that like button if you agree with Phil. If you don't, let us know why in the comments below and share it with the world. Phil Bell's Morning Update is exclusively on thedailymojo.com.
Oh! Boots on the floor, coffee in hand, spin that dial, we start the band.
Boots, check. Keys, check. Attitude, check. We'll take it from here.
Sun comes up, headlines burn, mic goes live, we take our turn. Bradley J. Staggs laughing at the seams, talking big talk about big wild Daily Mojo. Bang that drum, chasing down that American dream. One job, one job, wrong. One job, wrong. Daily Mojo, beat that chest.
One job. Speaking of jobs, you did not want to be the teacher in Ireland. What they're calling in the press, they're calling him an anti-trans teacher. I don't know if you consider him an anti-trans teacher. He was a teacher who refused to use they/them pronouns for one of the kids in the class, and a high court judge on Monday, that would be yesterday, ordered the teacher Enoch Burke be returned to prison immediately for repeatedly breaching an Irish court order. Yes, he was in prison previously for refusing to cater to the pronoun crowd.
Refuse the use of they pronoun for a young child. Nobody wants it. Step into the back of the car, nobody wants it. It's an abuse of power. Absolute insanity. Absolute insanity what's happening here. At Wilson.
Ireland seems like a nice place, huh?
And man and woman, forcing transgenderism on them. Nobody accepts this. They don't believe it. People don't want to be told what to believe in. Well, this is all about trans.
Yeah.
Did he just get into a police car and roll down the window?
I wondered the same thing. But he was also handcuffed, was he not? Weren't his?
I don't know if I saw.
I'm thinking it's a crank, but it's probably. Because I wondered the exact same thing. Let's see here.
Nobody wants it. It's an abuse of power. Absolute insanity.
The window's up there.
Absolute insanity. What's
yes, somebody.
Wilson's hospital.
Yeah. If it wasn't him, yeah, because he's the only one in the car. So yes, he did. They also, if you notice, they don't have a screen between the officers and
which means the door.
Whoever's in the back
can open the back door and get out. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Are Irish police officers armed?
That's a good question. I have no. They're not like the London bobbies or whatever they are called, where they just carry a
Coppers.
stick. Yeah, I don't know.
You know, that's where the term cop came from. You know that?
Coppers.
Cop. Constable on patrol.
Oh, yeah.
Cop.
Okay, cool.
Copper, see, copper? You gotta be smarter than me, copper. Huh? Are you? Huh? Anyway, I don't know if he was handcuffed or not, but you're right.
Every boy and girl and man and woman, forcing transgenderism on them. Nobody accepts this. They don't believe it. People don't want to be told what to believe in. Well,
this should scare the dog shit out of everyone. I mean, I know it's Ireland, the Emerald Isle, and it's not here. However, it could be. And we are, I was going to say we're a generation away from it being here. We're not even that. We're a couple of stupid people in power away from it becoming the United States. And during the Rona, you saw the beginnings of that. You saw people being absolutely, I guess they're just rolling that in a loop, being called out and or silenced and or arrested even for suggesting that the whole thing might be a scam and or suggesting that the they
don't believe it. People
didn't work. Again, this is the responses to this particular tweet were fascinating because people were like, "Wait, what? He's being arrested? He's going back. He's going to prison because he wouldn't use the right pronouns." Yep, that is scary. The anti-transgender teacher, that's what they call him at this particular website, was jailed for contempt for a 5th time and ordered to be returned to Mountjoy Prison. That's a interesting name for a prison, isn't it? Mountjoy. After being arrested by the Popo at Wilson's Hospital School in County Westmeath on Monday morning, he was released from Mountjoy just last Wednesday to prepare for a case against an appeals body due to review his dismissal from the school. His release was on the condition that he would not return to the school, but Mr. Burke did appear there on Thursday, Friday, and again this morning, claiming he was there to do a day's work. Rosemary Mullen, a barrister representing the school's Board of Management, told the court on Friday his presence on school property had caused unprecedented and significant impact on the work of the school. It's this is dystopian to say the very least. This is Orwellian, and again, it's Ireland. I always see these. Well, it's Rosie and other people that I know on Facebook. You know what? I think I'm going to move to Ireland. All right, go for it.
Yeah,
I think that's a great idea. Go to Ireland.
Don't tell
send
me.
back
Just
pictures.
do it. Yeah.
You don't have to announce that you're leaving. Just leave. It's okay. And this particular meme, again, the comments in this are gold. Family Guy sitting there, he says, me getting executed for being straight in 2050. Is that far off? Because He might not be. This is the organizer of the Minnesota. I don't even know what you call them. The Minnesota Dingle Nuts.
Martin Luther King Day, monitoring the tense situation in Minneapolis, where some 1,500 troops could soon be deployed amid ongoing unrest. This as several hotels across the Twin Cities, including some housing federal officers, are closing down due to bomb threats.
That was another thing. The Hilton hotels, which were canceling the reservations and the rooms of some ICE agents who were already there, had already checked in.
I saw that, yeah.
They were kicking them out, saying, yeah, we're going to close down the hotel, and or not even closing the hotel, but we're not going to, and you got to go. And on one hand, the franchisee of the Hilton, if it's not an O&O, they don't want their hotel burned down. I mean, what a giant pain in the ass that would be, right?
No, and that's the point, is that they don't want their hotel burnt down, or they're going to have to close. But that second paragraph actually does pretty well in going, look, as a gesture of our goodwill, we'll help you find another place, or we'll pay for it, you know.
We'll call around and see what other hotel will take you that doesn't mind getting burned down. That's the issue here.
Yeah, at the DoubleTree, they're just scared.
But Hilton's are apparently and Hilton, some of these franchisees got spanked.
Yes, they did.
By corporate Hilton.
Yes. They got spanked
Hilton's
or got dumped from the franchisee list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do I feel for the franchisee? Yeah, for the individual hotel owner? Yeah, I do, because you cannot stop the crazies from standing out in front of your hotel at 3 a.m. thinking they're keeping ICE agents awake when ICE agents aren't even staying at your hotel, and or lighting your lobby on fire, because that's how bad these whack jobs are.
Those threats coming following a weekend of escalating tensions between protesters, law enforcement, and agitators who have dissented.
Let me get to didn't have a chance to cue it to the actual organizer interview, which I think is right. No, I don't know. I'm either going to get lucky here or I'm not.
Hours ago, I just checked. It is -4 degrees where you are right now. What are you monitoring today?
Hi, Natasha. We're actually in St. Paul, outside of the church where that protest happened yesterday. St. Paul police telling me that about 30 to 40 protesters interrupted the church service Sunday morning.
Where did she go? There was the interview with the organizer, and I thought that this was the right clip, but I may have been. Let's just hear what Mills has to say.
Happened early Sunday morning. The group going inside the church, interrupting the services and chanting things like "Justice for Renee Good," "ICE out for good," "Hands up, don't shoot." And we could hear some of those protesters asking people if they supported ICE. And it appears that they were targeting the church because they believe that.
See, that's not a protest. That is an assault.
Yeah.
There's nothing there. You're not what are you protesting? Going in and asking people if they support ICE? You're just being thugs at that point.
Let me ask you a question. I thought about this last night. The fact of the matter is could they have stood out on a public sidewalk and protested? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did they walk into a privately owned building?
Yep.
That's trespassing. All they had to do was trespass them.
Which they probably did. But
eventually, maybe. But you're right. With as many people are walking into churches and just shooting the place up, I'm thinking...
Which they probably were hoping for one of those moments. And they were willing to sacrifice one of their own. I would imagine that probably was brought up at the little get-together, the meeting beforehand. Look, they start shooting. Everybody, you're all cool? Yep. I will die for this cause. Okay.
One of the pastors was a local ICE official.
You like ICE? No, sir. I mean, this is just, it's insane.
I understand that what is happening is wrong, and I agree with that, but this can't happen. This is the house of the Lord. To do this is unjust.
Attorney General Pam Bondi says she spoke with the pastor of that church, saying that she's prepared to use the full force of federal law on attacks against law enforcement and the intimidation of Christians.
She'll send another sternly worded letter? That's the problem, is that we are so used to now not seeing anything happen to these yutzes that we just expect it to keep going like it's been going. Missy 13, that's a great point. This is organized crime. Yeah, it is. It's organized crime. And what is Black Lives Matter behind this? They were the ones who were live streaming some of what was going on. So is that where the money's coming from? Does Soros give to Black Lives Matter? I mean, that's kind of a rhetorical question, but to BLM, and let's see if AI says, no, he doesn't give anything to the Bureau of Land Management. Providing significant financial support to organizations advocating for racial blah, blah, blah. $220 million investment in initiatives focused on racial justice, including supporting Black-led justice organizations. This is from the financial report. Which financial report is this? It's the AI financial report. It's online. Look it up yourself. But yeah, Soros behind a lot of this stuff, and will continue to back it until we prove that we are not going to stand for it, and we continue to push back to the point where they realize, oh, hell, I'm taking my life into my own hands. That's the problem with these crazies, is they'll continue doing it. They are, I think, willing to eat a bullet, a force-fed bullet, to make their point. And then what do you do? Then you got we saw some of the Nick Sorter. That happened before the end of the program yesterday, right? The Nick Sorter's camera getting
we
stolen out of his hand. The amazing thing is watching the way that, again, the main, what I consider the Hindustan Times mainstream. I don't know. I've not looked into their origins, but sometimes to me, they're like the National Enquirer. That's what they seem like. And to be fair, the National Enquirer got a lot of things right. And we saw in the documentary Men in Black that they were pretty important political organization as well within the government. The way that the headline is written with the quotes, and then even the subhead, and I didn't know Jake Lang got stabbed yesterday.
I didn't know he got well, it would have been Saturday or Sunday, but I knew he got attacked, but I didn't hear anything about stabbing until just this article.
And then the quotes around conservative influencer Nick Sorter's claimed he was robbed of his camera in Minneapolis by, quote, Somali thugs. And then the Jake Lang alleged and said he was attacked and said he was, quote unquote, stabbed. It is again, it's the way it's written. You know which side of the fence they come down on just by the way. And I'm glad, because you know what team they're on. And we saw the video. And if you didn't see it, it's pretty, I mean, she just grabs his camera out of his hand, takes off. He gets out and runs after her. And I think I would have done the same thing. I mean, it's $1,000 whether it's
she
your
gets in
phone
her car
or your
and takes
camera.
off, right? And then
Right,
he tries
but he's holding on to the door handle, and I'm in my mind, I'm going, if the roads are that slippery, you're holding on. You could pretty much kind of ice skate right next to her, right? We all think we're Superman until we're put in that position. And it's like, oh hell, this hurts, and it's hard to hold on. But if there's enough ice on the ground, you just plant your feet and you kind of glide along next to her. I don't know. Would I let go? That'd be hard, because she's got your phone or your camera, and you're like, I want my stuff back. And
well, it's not like we don't have license plates,
right? But well, I mean, are the police going to help? Because
I don't know. Well, I mean, she did steal.
I don't know either. Did she? Or are you just saying that because you're a racist? Because that's what they do in this article. Nick Sorter was allegedly attacked Hold on a second. The way that they had recording independent. There we go. No, that's not. Where's the paragraph where they describe how she took it? Oh, here we go. The video shows some people snatching an item from Sorter, who is sitting in a car that is idle, and fleeing. While Sorter rushes behind them to retrieve his belongings, they quickly manage to drive away. And a video shared by content creator Cam Higbee and reposted by Sorter appears to have captured the incident. Is that good journalism, or is that showing bias? Appears to show the incident. You can take it either way. Hey, we're just trying to be neutral here, and we don't. Is that video show a theft, or is that was that prearranged? Have to learn how to read between the lines with these yutzes, because again, they don't have your best interest in mind. I know that comes as a shock, a complete shock, but they don't. As a matter of fact, they don't even care if you live or die. Shocking. A lot of craziness going on. Place trackers in the equipment. W. Kunkel says, place trackers in the equipment. Well, if it's a phone, it has built-in tracker. Again, if it was stolen by somebody who's just being a jerk, then, they don't care. They'll take do they still have SIM card? Yeah, they do still have SIM cards in phones, right? They'll just take the SIM card out?
No, the newer ones.
They don't?
No. 15s and 16s have the electronic.
So you can't disable whatever service they were originally on? I get there's always a way to disable stuff. You'll always be able to overcome the software. Yeah. Well, but no, if it's $1,000 phone, you're going to sell it.
Well, yeah, but you got to be able to get into it and unlock it. That's the thing.
But that's my point, is that you'll be able to, there's some software you can ask a 15-year-old kid somewhere. They have the software that'll bust into a bricked phone, and they'll be able to make it all brand new again for you. It's just a matter of time. Anything happening over at the house? Hold on a second. The house of the laser etched rice grain?
No. No, nothing spectacular. I mean, I spent yesterday learning how to do stuff on some of the lasers that I hadn't, stuff I hadn't done before. I'm working on the inner crystal engravings now, trying to make those work off the UV laser. But no, I mean, because it's after Christmas and this is a slow month, so that's what's happening. Oh, I did do a Daily Mojo Christmas ornament yesterday for somebody who ordered after Christmas.
Oh, so you can still, people can still order.
Yeah.
Would it be safe to say that if you want, could they get one from last year? Is that that ship sailed?
No, I don't know. Just email me if you're interested in having one from previous years. I've still got the files. I could still build them.
Where's the rice?
I haven't put it up.
Okay. It's your store.
Thank you.
So if you want a laser engraved grain of rice,
we'll get
there. Can
they
get one if they?
We'll get there.
I mean,
Email
can they
me.
get one if they?
Yeah.
And still, what if Don Lemon wants a
I'm
laser
not doing
engraved?
Damn it for Don Lemon.
$1,000.
Okay.
I'm thinking the number was probably lower than that, but I figured I'd give you an out because the money is still green. It's MoJoLaserPros.com. That's the name of the website. And tell your friends that if they want their name engraved on a grain of rice, especially coming up for Valentine's Day, which is less than a month away, wouldn't that be a fabulous gift? Huh?
Yeah, it would be.
Could you, let's say, because I know you painted the grain of rice.
I did paint first. I colored it with a marker, yeah.
We don't like to use that word.
The colored, okay.
Yeah, especially when you're looking at Don Lemon. You could, let's say, use a red Sharpie or a pink Sharpie.
Yeah.
And
the
then
lighter
you'd
the
have
color, the darker the color, the better it's going to show up. But yeah, I could use any color. Hell, I don't even have to use a color. It's just you won't be able to read it because the
which
UV
would
laser
kind of defeat the purpose of
doesn't.
having something etched on a grain of rice that you would like to see.
You're correct.
Yeah. So I'm just saying for Valentine's Day, wouldn't it be really cool to have a little pink or red grain of rice in there with your significant other's name etched on it?
You're always thinking cool things up, Brad. Thank you for that. Thank you. Well,
I'm just trying to make you a little money.
I know that. Thank you so much. My
Baby
wife
needs a new
and
pair
I
of
are
shoes.
both thankful.
Yeah. Okay, so
Good
it's
idea.
MoJoLaserPros.com. MoJoLaserPros.com.
The Daily Mojo, making mornings bright. With Brad and Ron, they keep it funky tight. Yeah. News, laughs, and the moves that feel so right. It's the Daily Mojo, keeping the world in sight.
We'd like to say hi to any government agency monitoring this broadcast. You know where to find us. TheDailyMojo.com.
Yet another request from yours truly. If you have not yet done so, please go to TheDailyMojo.com and download the Daily Mojo app, which will enable you to send us messages on said app. You'll also be able to get messages from us, let you know what's happening in the world if something dramatic happens, and kind of give you an early heads up on what the program may or may not contain, because sometimes I just make shit up. I wasn't supposed to read that part, was I? Sorry. Anyway, just download it at thedailymojo.com. This is the Large Collider at CERN.
Kilometer underground ring.
And first, just get an idea of how big this thing is. Hang on a second. There's a better image of it right there. The ring is the footprint of the collider itself. All of these little things, those are buildings and cars.
Yeah, the ring is 27 kilometers in circumference.
That's a long
way. It's a long way, but when you're talking about speed of light travel, it's really not.
How, what did we decide? A beam of light could travel around the world in a second. How many times?
7.5. Yeah. I mean, think about
That's
that.
fast.
So it goes around this 27 kilometer circle how many times in a second?
A lot.
150, 200 times. Yeah. That's crazy.
More than that.
Yeah. I would think so.
Thousands of times more than that. I mean, it's huge. It's almost, it's big. It's really, really big. It's a big tunnel and has a big machine. And this big machine, what was that? Where did hang on a minute. I have to go over here and hit this and then that. It's a glitch in the system.
Located at a CERN facility near Geneva, Switzerland.
The reason the Large Hadron Collider is so large is because it has one task: to destroy the smallest particles possible. So
kind of like you're on one job. It has one job.
We can better understand how they work.
The LHC is a really...
Look at the size of that sucker.
Dude. Wow.
It's for the time, and that's again, the Alanis Morissette moment. That's the irony of the CERN collider, is that it is so massive because it is looking at the smallest particle that we can observe. The tiniest, teeny. And you need something this big to see something that small. Insert your joke here.
Big particle accelerator. Basically, it's a bunch of magnets strung together that accelerate subatomic particles to near light speed, so we can literally smash them together. And
299.8 million meters per second. That's a lot, isn't it? That's a lot of meters in a second, right? That sure does sound like a lot. That's why it takes when they go to start. Let's say you walked into work. You work at the CERN collider, and it's your job to turn the machine on to get ready for the day's work. You flip the on switch. How long does it take? before the CERN collider is ready to go? Do you know?
Oh, no.
Take a stab at it. You flip the on switch,
Flip
and
the
it's
on
going to
switch,
be
and it's ready to go. Half a day.
Nope.
I don't know.
6 to 8 weeks.
Wow.
It takes a very long time for this thing to warm up.
See what they break up into so that we understand what the fundamental building
I thought he was going to say, what the
blocks of those particles are.
The protons and electrons that the Large Hadron Collider work with are so tiny that the task of making them collide is akin to firing two needles 10 kilometers apart with such precision that they meet halfway.
It's like hitting a bullet with another bullet while riding a horseback blindfolded. Who said it?
I don't know.
Jiminy Christmas. Scotty. Jeez.
And how the Large Hadron Collider does this is incredible.
It's just amazing
The
how
LHC needs a really
big that
high
is.
vacuum environment so the subatomic particles don't interact with matter. If the subatomic particles were allowed to interact with matter, they'd be annihilated and lost. So within the LHC ring, there's a tube that is kept at very high vacuum that the particles travel in. Subatomic particles can be accelerated in rings like the LHC or by linear accelerators.
It's really close to impossible to comprehend what it is they're doing at CERN, because you cannot see this thing that they're throwing into this tunnel at however many million meters per second. It's so small you can't see it, and they're trying to collide. One goes one way, I think the other goes the other, and then they have to hit each other and break up. But it's so small. I mean, you look at look at the smallest particle of food or crumb that's on your desk, and don't tell me there's not anything. Don't tell me your desk is clean, because there's schmutz all over it. And you look at the tiny, and it's tinier than that by thousands.
Way tinier than that.
Yeah. And you got to take two of those. So first, it makes my brain go, how the hell did they even find this particle? And obviously, if you scientific theory, you theorize that it exists, then you go and but still, who the hell sat there and went, I'll bet there's something, I'll bet there's something we can't see. It's really tiny, and I bet you if we whack those things together, we'd get some information. I mean, who even sits around and thinks about that stuff?
That's the Higgs boson, right?
Mm-hmm. That's 2012 is when the God particle.
The God particle, yeah.
And, I mean, again, this is 2026. Were they thinking about this stuff in 1926? I don't think so. I mean, I guess they could have. Einstein was around, sitting around thinking. But 200 years ago, 1826, were they thinking about this stuff? I'd lay good money that no. Somebody will probably come up with some Greek philosopher that, 2,000 years ago, Xiphophiles posited that there was a teeny tiny little piece of matter that would make up all, I don't know. But it does make you wonder, where in the hell did we get the information and or technology to even try this experiment? And then who said, if we run two of them things into each other, they're going to smash apart like a big old bus wreck, and we're going to have particles. And we look at those particles, we can see what
create
the
a black
universe
hole.
Made up.
Yeah.
That was the other thing, is that there were a number of things they were unsure of when they created CERN. I'll get to that in a second.
In a linear accelerator, we accelerate the particles in a line rather than around a ring. And linear accelerators really help us to get the particles up to speed before we inject them into a ring. The LHC has two linear accelerators, LINX3 and LINX4, which produce the particles and inject them into the large LHC ring.
So it produces, I didn't know they did that. It produces, it makes it up out of, where do you get a particle that small? They're all around you, stupid. Just grab one. I mean, in theory, that's correct, isn't it? I mean, they're all if matter is made up of all of these little particles, then yeah, they are all around us at any given moment. This woman, she is her name is Astrid Stuckelberger. I think that's her last name. Did I get it right? I was close. Steckelberger. And is she crazy or is she just wicked smart? Astrid Stuckelberger. She's either crazy or wicked smart.
They had changed something in the reality. They are disclosing that they are doing all this type of research on wormholes, black holes, change of time and space. I mean, officially.
Yes, she's...
And if I am at CERN and I am running the place and or part of the government entity that is running the place, I'm going to come up with somebody who, you know, a person who is actually working on my behalf to leak out stuff that is kind of crazy, especially if I'm trying to keep crazy stuff, you know, the real crazy stuff from getting out. I'm going to have somebody going out there and throwing in the, you know, we're talking to ghosts.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're talking to interdimensional beings. I mean, what they may be doing is nothing more than looking for a new way to make a bomb. It's probably, sadly, not too far from the truth. But people like Astrid Stuckelberger, they get out there and I'll play more of this.
Talking about CERN, and something strange happened there in November 2009. CERN's director of research, Sergio Bertolucci, made a very interesting statement.
This director of CERN says that the Titanic machine may possibly create or discover previously unimagined scientific phenomenon or unknown unknowns.
Unknown unknowns. You know, you have to be sometimes smart enough to realize you're not even smart enough to know what you don't know. And so is there, which is kind of funny that the head of CERN would say, there's stuff we don't even know. I mean, why couldn't we build a transporter if there's stuff we don't know? Maybe that's what wouldn't that be awesome if they were working on a transporter like from Star Trek? You know why the transporter will never happen?
Why?
Money. The money lost.
And bureaucracy and red tape.
In the fossil fuel industry and any other energy.
For transportation.
You're going to have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the car industry. I mean, everything that has a lot of money spent on it right now to get you from point A to point B, they don't want a transporter. Because a transporter makes but you still have to power up the transporter, and it's going to, take engines of some sort. Man, you think this thing is complicated? The collider? How complicated would a transporter have to be? To be able to take your body, and you know how the transporter works, right?
Deconstruct it.
Yes. Yeah. Down to an atomic level. I guess that's canon, is that you are dissolved at an atomic level and then stored in some sort of a medium like a hard drive and then reassembled on the other end. Does that mean, is that really you or is that a clone of you? Every time that we saw Captain Kirk beam down, or Picard, or any of them, was that really Captain Picard or Kirk that materialized on the planet, or was that a clone? And while they were being transported, where did their spirit go? Huh. So Dr. Astrid, who says, and says there's some stuff going on at CERN, just last year, she says that CERN is detecting non-human beings coming in and out of portals. Is there a portal? Wow. Well, first, what is a portal?
It's like a wormhole. Would it be a wormhole?
I want to believe. I do. I want to believe. I want to understand and believe that there is, like a wormhole or a portal in space, which is again still theory. But if you jumped into a wormhole in space, that's supposed to be how we would get from one side of the galaxy to the other side in no time at all, because it, bends space and time. I think that's how wormholes are supposed to work. But a portal, I mean, when you talk about opening up to another dimension, which is why it's easy to put these stories out there, because a lot of people go, yeah, it's a portal to another dimension. What is a portal to another dimension? I don't know. It's a door, right? It's a door. Yeah, but how do you do that? I don't know. They talked about the big event that happened at CERN in 2009. And this is from Columbia University. Besides the meltdown in the financial market, this is from 2008, technically. Perhaps of more concern to physicists is the meltdown at CERN, specifically in the connection between two magnets during the powering tests that were conducted on, it was a Friday in September in 2008. The problem was, and this is where I got the information on how long it takes this thing to start up. The daily report from that day on the LHC beam commissioning site. By the next day, it had become clear it would be necessary to warm back up the sector to deal with the problem. And when they turn this thing on, I guess it's probably powered on in sections. Can you imagine the amount of electricity and energy this thing takes to do whatever the hell it does?
I would guess they have their own, what do you call it? Not an electric farm, but what do you call those?
Substation?
Substations.
Or a generator?
At least. That whole thing is probably a substation for electricity.
Powered by what, though? I mean, where do you? I see what you're saying. I don't know where you would put it, but it has to take an enormous amount of. I mean, when they turn that thing on, to the lights in all those houses around there go. Is this Hawkins, Indiana? It was immediately clear doing this would take at least a couple of months. The research into what the hell happened. The press release referred to a large helium leak and the failure of an electrical connection, making the problem sound rather minor. Now, in that machine, all the pieces and parts I would think are important. That's the other weird thing. If you think about every little nut and bolt in that place, it can't do without one of them. Your car, for example, can, you take a few bolts out here and there, it'll probably do just fine. I would imagine that is not the case with this CERN collider. The author of this article, I tried contacting a physicist at CERN to find out why if they had any more info, was told that they were under instructions not to discuss anything about what had happened beyond what was in the press release, and that CERN was specifically concerned that information might show up in blogs. Like openings to another portal or portal to another dimension. The Everything blog said, I was in a meeting at CERN when someone ran to the front of the room with a computer. Then after letting the speaker finish and setting up the computer to project the press release, it was agonizing moments. It was a Mac. Oh, blow me. They let us know. I was worried that the sector with the helium explosion had collapsed like an old mine. So they use helium to keep it cool? They must. There were rumors going around that this is a weak point in the tunnel. I've learned a few more graphic details about the event in the last few days. First off, it was 2 tons of helium. They also learned that it was more explosive and dramatic than had been reported, and the temperature gradient caused it to violently explode, probably causing physical injury to the nearby components. And now it will take months to repair and restart. And it says when you turn this thing on, you have to wait weeks, 6 to 8 weeks for it to power up so that you can, push the other button that says create the particle.
I think that's probably why
shoot it down the track.
It doesn't necessarily bring the entire state's power grid to a screeching halt, because they ramp it up slowly over a period of 6 to 8 weeks. Otherwise, it would go and shut everything. It's like
it is so big.
Pop a freaking fuse or something. Breaker.
Do you hear that a lot?
Pop a breaker.
So big.
It's no, unfortunately. Yeah.
Let's not forget too. The other reason is that people are freaked out about CERN, and this is where the confusion enters. Remember this whole opening ceremony that people were saying was CERN, and it's not CERN. This is the Gotthard Tunnel. They're both in Switzerland, but this was the Gotthard Tunnel opening, not the CERN opening. So again, you have to be careful about I mean, there's no doubt that this is weird AF, but it is not the CERN. Do you remember this? This is so effing weird. I mean, I get it. It's Europe. And Europeans do things a little differently than we do here in the United States. But they tried to tell us it was all about folklore and local customs and that, right, like this. Yeah, it's just, I don't know why you're freaked out. It's just some topless chick flying around with giant wings and why? What's wrong? You don't see this every day? No. So then and those things, the hairy things, remember those? And they wonder why people think that they're trying to open a portal to another dimension. However, the scientists use massive particle accelerators, primarily the Large Hadron Collider, to smash subatomic particles together at near light speed to study the fundamental building blocks of the universe, to also test the theories of physics like the Standard Model, and investigate mysteries like the origin of matter. I had this discussion with somebody yesterday about matter in the world, like stuff, like physical stuff. I have to create an opening. Speaking of holes, but is it an unanswerable question, or is it just something that you have to be really smart to understand? And the question is there a finite amount of matter on this planet? Is there a finite amount we know there's a finite amount of water on the planet, right? It's the same water, we just keep recycling. You drink, you pee, it goes in the ground, it ends up evaporation, sky, rains, fills, water treatment, goes faucet, drink, pee, lather, rinse, repeat. There's only so much water on the planet, and we just keep. Is it the same thing with matter?
So you're
What?
I didn't know water was finite.
Well, unless we get hit with a giant ice meteorite, there's a finite amount of water. It's not being created anywhere. So, ponder that for a moment, and we'll dive into this and be back on the Daily Mojo.
Every day at the top of the hour, I flip on the radio for a blast of truth and power from the Daily Mojo. Give me the mojo.
The Daily Mojo.
Give me the mojo.
The Daily Mojo.
Give me the mojo.
The Daily Mojo.
Give me the mojo.
Radio with an attitude.
And here's the thing, about matter and stuff, and portals to hell. Like this, the things like this will pop up over in like YouTube and Instagram. Let's see if it's going to play here.
I have really an important message to tell you, and it's about the portal that is going to be open on July 5th.
Hey, so I'm here at CERN, and there is in fact no portals to be found. Hope this helps.
So I mean, you have that.
Yeah.
You have a guy apparently standing. It looks a lot like the
LHC,
the collider, doesn't it? I mean,
yep.
I could not ever duplicate that using a green screen, I'm sure. But let's just say he's right, and isn't that what you would say? If people are finally on to you and they realize that
I have really an important message to tell you, and it's about the portal that is going to be open on July 5th.
Hey, so I'm here at CERN, and there is in fact no portals to be found. Hope this helps.
But when you think about it, what they're doing there, if you tried to explain this to somebody, 50 years ago? Nah, they probably get it then. 100? We're going to find, you can't see it, but everything that we are made of is made of these tiny little, like a flea. No, smaller than that. Like an atom. No, smaller than an atom. It's the tiny. And we're going to take these and we're going to throw them at each other and we're going to make them smash into each other. And then we're going to look at the accident afterward and decide what the world is made of. That sounds wackadoodle. Does it not?
It does. Yeah.
Is it any more wackadoodle than opening up a portal to another dimension?
No, but I want to.
It's not how dimensions work.
Yeah.
But that's my point, is that we didn't understand what these particles were 100 years ago. Again, pick your time frame. And we don't technically know, I guess there's some science fiction-y definition of a portal into another dimension that you could come up with. But just because it's science fiction-y doesn't mean it's not real. Space Hippie on Vacay in the Rumble chat room says, of all the years I've received the CERN newsletter, not once have they mentioned opening a portal. Exactly. Because they wouldn't want it to get out before they did it. Would they? But they didn't help themselves. And again, it wasn't the CERN opening ceremony. It was, again, the Gothard Tunnel ceremony that featured Cousin It and the rest of the It family. And the freaky visuals and the freaky imagery. Again, it's just, there's nothing weird going on here. It's just local lore. It's just local. It's just stories they tell each other to keep warm around the campfire at night. Yeah. That's all. It involves naked women hanging from the ceiling with feathery wings and flapping. So are they opening a portal? Is it possible that, and I don't know if I don't know what significance the July 5th date is. I'm sure that it's the day after our 250th birthday. 50th, right? 250. Yeah, 250.
Yeah.
Could that have something to do with it? Don't know. But the myth that the CERN LHC will create black holes, open portals to hell, or shift timelines, they, according to the AI, that's linked to occult practices or fake ritual videos. Okay, that is not a fake ritual video. That is it's against the Gothard Tunnel, which is also in Switzerland, not the opening of the CERN Collider. The hoax, according to AI, a well-known fake video showed people in robes performing a mock ritual near a Shiva statue at CERN. Oh, that's the other thing about CERN, is that it has the big Shiva statue out front, which is, if you're not familiar with it, it's a Hindu. Copy image. Stand by one moment. The fact that we can do this at all again is amazing to me. There is the statue of Shiva, a bronze Natahara. It's a dancing Shiva gifted by India in 2004, symbolizing the cosmic cycle of creation and destruction. It's a metaphor for the universe's subatomic particle dance studied at CERN, highlighting connection between Eastern spirituality and Western science, representing ongoing change, transformation, and the pursuit of universal understanding. So that's why they get a lot of weird looks, strange queries, weird conspiracy theories, is because there's a lot of stuff surrounding CERN that is weird, that we don't understand. Remember, they're taking these little subatomic particles and throwing them at each other really, really hard and watching the destruction that ensues. And that is what we end up finding out how the universe is made through. which is, again, a little wackadoo. All right, another quickie here, and then Dan. And we did when we were over at Sinking Ship Studios. We did have them do a sample for Dan's intro, so he should be excited to hear that. We'll do it next.
You're listening to the lunatic fringe of American radio, the Daily Mojo.
Curtis in the Daily Mojo chat room says they covered water from space in Buck Rogers. That's why it's so, whenever we talk about, finding water on Mars and whatever, that's why it's so important. Because we can't take it with us.
That's true.
Can't take it with us when we go. And in the space station, what are they doing? They're drinking their pee all the time, right?
Ugh.
What? You don't?
I mean,
you don't like to do?
They're
you don't like to
recycling.
do
Yeah,
that?
I get it.
So are you. You're drinking bazillion-year-old water.
Yeah.
That likely passed through a dinosaur's kidneys at one point. Think about that. And think about this.
What can you say about a man who spends his day toiling over a newsroom full of real truth-seeking journalists at CBN News? And what more shall I add about his hosting acumen at the QuickStart podcast? What shall I say that hasn't been said 1,000 times throughout the history of man's search for knowledge? I know, for I shall say. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the program, Dan Andros.
Unmute, Dan.
So
I was waiting for I was waiting for the hammer to drop there. Yeah.
Nothing but RESPECT, baby. That's all.
Right.
And you wouldn't
Nice.
know it, but we had the jingle singers singing your name. They just kind of got buried there in the. But we're going back to Sinking Ship Studio, so that won't be the the only shot at the new Dan Andros. Because I know it's in your contract that you have a custom produced introduction to your segments here on the Daily Mojo.
Yes.
You're a rough negotiator too. I'll have to give you that. So.
Yeah, well, you
I
guys
don't know
were
if you-
tough too because you held firm on the box of Skittles I needed every month for these appearances, but you said no, we don't. We can't be providing this level.
Well,
of,
we can't that and also subsidize your weekly getaways to the south of France.
Right.
It's one or the other. Skittles or the south of France. Take your pick. Just saying.
France. Yes.
Where they have Skittles, I understand. First, Don Lemon, I think you would join me in saying that he is being unfairly criticized. He's being unfairly blamed for, he's just journalisting stuff. That's all Don Lemon is doing. And why are they hating on the Lemon so bad? Am I right, Dan?
Oh, yeah, and also it's just because he's black and gay. I mean, if he had
That's why Ron
done
hates
this and he was white and straight, there's no way anyone would have cared. They would have just ignored it.
Yep. That's our buddy Don. And this is his not his friend. Hold on, let me back this up because
After George Floyd was killed, we more of a it's attorney
up a little bit more because he does not know these people. Remember.
Thank you guys for allowing me to.
Thanks for being here.
Coming to stuff.
Thank you guys.
Okay.
How
are you?
Good.
Before he gets in, I saw another clip where he's standing there and he's saying, this.
I know what you're going to say.
What's this group over here? He's like, I don't know. It looks kind of MAGA coded because there's an American flag. Like, oh.
Yes.
Okay. That's a dead giveaway. How they like America.
I saw that. I think that might be at the beginning of this. Hang on.
Yeah,
there it is. They're doing this on their own. Doing this in large part without support from officials, right? Local officials. There are some people who want to get involved, some local officials, but they're doing this on their own. This is all grassroots. So we're going to just take you throughout the day here. You're going to be with us live. I know, right? It's just going to be raw. You're going to see what it is. So they are ready. Yeah.
Are you willing to bring us feedback?
So I don't want to get, because they are strategizing, I don't want to get too much of their information in there. But again, you see people from all walks. Yeah. So
yeah. So I guess it was before that where he pointed out. He said, "Well, there's the American flag over there, so you know they're MAGA."
Well, he acts like okay. So what he does is he acts like he happened upon this protest. He's like, we came up here and it looked like MAGA coded at first, but this is, and then, so I want to preface the clip you're about to play with this. Like, he tries to stage it like he has no idea what's going on and he's just stumbled upon this. And then you just saw that there where he's like doing a horrible, terrible job. This is like 15 losers from some club or whatever it is that they do. And he's acting like he has stumbled on a civil rights protest from, in the middle of the, we're here on, yesterday was MLK Day. He's acting like he stumbled upon this. No, this is like a handful of idiot protesters who we're about to see are complete morons. Anyway, so
I don't know that that's just a handful. There are a bunch of them. And let me play this.
Right?
This. I never got a final count. Here's the where he is meeting.
As for B, thanks you for allowing me to be here.
Okay,
thank you guys.
Okay.
All right. How are you? Good to see you. We're on. We're not saying what it is, what's going on, but thank you.
Didn't know her, of course. And I don't know if prior to he said I don't know these people, but I mean he obviously knows who they are. He knows what they're about to do. He's known her for some time. He's on their side.
So I haven't watched this part yet in full. And he's sitting here saying, like, you say you're a journalist, Don, right? Like, I'm just a journalist and I'm finding out and I'm asking questions. Well, then why are you sitting there going, we're not going to tell them what they're doing? You're strategizing here. We don't want to tell this part, right? Like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? You absolute moron. You buffoon. You're not journalisting. Honestly, nobody would care about this if he didn't pretend like he's like, what? I was just journalisting. Like, nobody would care. Everyone knows Don Lemon's a flaming lib, so nobody would care if he was out activisting with these people. But he's just trying to pretend. Like, how are you trying to keep this charade up? Oh,
the comments again go that would not be allowed in a mosque or a synagogue. You didn't just show up, Don. It is. What bothered me was the watching them go into the church. I hadn't even really considered the fact that they were probably hoping that somebody had a gun, as twisted as that sounds. But
yeah,
then to go in and again act stupid and like, hey, no, we're just. Look at there's some people in here appearing to pray. Look at the man back there with his arms up. It looks like he's praying. That's what you do in church, you stupid.
Well, and the questions he asked the pastor, like he's like, what about their First Amendment right? He's not like describing a scene that he just, like, do we all think Don just happened upon this scene? He's like, oh, I'm walking down the street in Minnesota and oh, look at this. There's some protesters that went into, like, he clearly was in on all this. And then he gives it away even more obviously by the questions he's asking. He's like, what? You don't believe in a First Amendment right to protest? Like, what, dude? Like, these are people going onto a private property and yelling at obscenities at people with their kids in there. Like, how do you describe the scene that way? You absolute clown. You absolute loser clown. I'm sorry. Like, it's just so disingenuous and ridiculous.
It made me mad to watch him do this, knowing that it was a clown show. And the worst part, though, I think, is realizing there are people out here who believe, well, he's just being a journalist. That's what journalists do. And they honestly believe it. And there are those who may not believe it, but understand it's a clown show, but it's what has to be done to get rid of these MAGA crazies, these Christians, these whack jobs. And those people are probably equally dangerous, if not more so.
And for Don Lamont, who had the gall to sit there and go, what, First Amendment? Can I read the First Amendment for him? Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or the press, etc., etc. The right to peacefully assemble. Like, you didn't, first of all, the first line in it is about expressing religious freedom. So the people in the church were doing the First Amendment thing, you idiot. And you went in there and were trying to intimidate them and yell at them. That's not peaceably assembling. That is not peaceably assembling, you idiot. That's trespassing on private property. Now, churches are welcoming, of course, and they want people to come in and just, they open their doors. But it's a private property.
But not to do this. Not to do this in the middle of a worship service. This is just heinous.
That is,
it's heinous.
There's got to be some local disruption law or something that they violated. I mean, clearly, you can't just, like, free speeching. I mean, these are the same morons that create free speech zones on college campuses and then try to shoo you off if you show up there with, like, an abortion sign or something, right? You show a dead fetus, dead baby, use their language. You show a dead baby, like, then they yell at you, you can't be on here. We haven't, you guys support that nonsense, but then are totally okay with a bunch of people just running roughshod in and intimidating and threatening, essentially, all these people in here who were doing nothing but worshiping. It's just, it's infuriating.
And I wouldn't, and just to be clear, I wouldn't, this would be a heinous act to do in a synagogue or a mosque or anywhere else people are gathered to praise their God. It's incomprehensible.
It's human decency.
Nearly.
It's human decency, Brad. Would you ever do that to anyone? Would you ever show up and just start ranting and swearing and yelling at a person with their family and little kids around? You're a demon if you're doing this stuff. You are honestly demon possessed. And you are doing Satan's work out there. You absolute clowns. And clowns is too soft. I would say demonic is better description of this because it's so bad. Like, if they would have just really thought this pastor was awful because of ICE, which, by the way, the moron protesting that filmed himself on there, incredible logic here you displayed, sir. He's like, oh, look at this. He's wearing a suit and he hangs out with Kristi Noem. How's that Christian? What?
I know. It's
what? How did you get across that chasm that you have there, sir? I mean, good grief. I mean, these people are so dumb, and yet everyone follows them. Or not everyone. They didn't. I mean, like you saw, it was a couple people in the parking lot. Now, it was a decent amount of them that showed up at this church. But if they would have stood there on the opposite, on like the sidewalk or something with some signs,
right?
Okay.
Yes, that's what Ron mentioned that earlier. Yes, absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. But to go in, I mean, it was stunning the level of heinousness that they showed.
Yeah, it is. Well, the guy that selfied himself is something else. If you have that clip, but then the questioning that Don gives this pastor, and then says, "I'm a Christian."
Yeah, I see.
Really?
I don't think that's the pastor.
This is just one. Answer is going into God's church now, but I don't.
Let me back up.
What's that?
You're a member of the church?
I do.
How do you feel about this?
I think I don't necessarily agree with everything that's going on in the Twin Cities right now, but I don't think it's good to fight fire with fire. I think it's good to speak up. I think it's good to protest, but I think it's better to do it in a peaceful way. I don't think the answer is going into God's church.
You don't think this is peaceful?
I want to punch him. I really do. Sometimes violence is my answer.
Well, it's trespassing.
He's right. It's trespassing.
Can you imagine how CNN executives are feeling right now? They're like, this guy is sullying the name of CNN even more than it could have possibly been sullied before with every dumb thing he does, because everyone says, wow, that idiot was on CNN. I mean,
they could get behind. They could say, "Well, that's why we fired him." But Don Lemon brings that out in you, and I know exactly what you mean because it's I can't decide if it's because I don't think he's stupid. I think he's very smart, and
he's an activist, but he's
which
trying
means
to pretend.
That's my point, is that he knows the emotions he's trying to elicit by asking these questions. And so he knows what reactions he's looking for, which makes him evil in this case. And it's just, he makes me want to punch him.
Somebody fighting.
It's trespassing. How would you feel if I went to your house and I started yelling?
It depends on what I did, but not in my house. That's a whole different thing. I think these people would go inside of anybody's house.
This is a
Tell me you don't understand how church works without telling me you don't understand how church works.
house of God.
Which makes it everybody's property.
Yes, it is.
It is private property, Don. You dork. If you're going to freaking do it out on the street.
Don't yell at each other.
Yeah, there was a lot of yelling in my house growing up. We still loved each other.
I did see it's now he's the justification, and
There was a lot, but again, think of the idiocy of this comparison. He compared yelling at his house among his immediate family to a bunch of strangers rolling into a church and yelling at everyone. He compared those two. He thought that was a good point.
But here we are talking about him. This is what he wanted, and which part of me hates that I'm doing what he wants. The other part of me is he's such a douche canoe that I feel the need to aim the light on him and to show him in that light because it's evil. It is just evil when you bust into a church like that and do that. That is, there's no word other than evil for that.
Did you guys see the, you're right, 100% right. Did you guys see the post? I think it was like Megyn Kelly's producer or something. She wrote, took a screenshot of Don out there in the snow with his Don Lemon microphone. And she wrote, "Hi friends, this is my Uncle Don. He is unemployed, but spends most days talking into his computer where he says people pay him to comment on the news. We believe he thinks he's some sort of television anchor. A few days ago, he left his home in New York City, then appeared on social media in Minnesota. If you see him, please let me know. The family is worried for his safety. This is his only jacket."
This is his only jacket. I can't play that one, but that's hysterical. This is his only jacket. And he doesn't have his medication. He needs his medication. We really want him.
He doesn't have his medication.
He's just, I mean, again, every image of Don that I see, he elicits that reaction from me, which I know is not good, but he does. He's got a punchable face. It's ironically, and I thought you would appreciate the fact that the act that they keep bringing up, and I say they, Harmeet Dillon and the rest of the Department of Justice, is the FACE Act, the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act, and so that's what they're saying that these guys violated by going into the church. So wouldn't that be a delicious piece if anything happens? And that's the problem, is we've become so accustomed to nothing happening to these people. Yeah, and it's frustrating.
100%. And they have, and I'm trying to look at the exact language of it here. So Keith Ellison, who, is the Attorney General there, he went on. By the way, we talked about this on the podcast today, but he went on Don Lemon's show to talk about this, and he's like, "Oh, no. FACE Act only applies to abortion clinics." This is what the Attorney General of Minnesota said, and I'd like to read the code here. Freedom of access to clinic entrances. It says, prohibited activities. Whoever by force or threat of force or by physical obstruction intentionally injures, intimidates, or fears with or attempts to injure, blah, 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 a person that has been, that person is or has been, or in order to intimidate such person or any other person, blah, blah, blah. obtaining or providing reproductive health. I can't read today. Reproductive health services. And so, yes, the first part about it is that. But then 2, by force or threat of force, by physical obstruction, intentionally injure, intimidate, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Any person lawfully exercising or seeking to exercise the First Amendment right of religious freedom at a place of religious worship. It's right there on number 2, Keith.
Kind of describes a church, doesn't it? If one was really imaginative, you'd think that exercising religious freedom might be happening.
Might happen at church.
At a church.
No, it's just
which, again, but that's the part that frustrates so many people. You have people like Keith Ellison out there, and the justice system isn't. The justice system doesn't, and it needs to start justicing again, much like Don Lemon should start. Well, not that he ever was journalizing, but
and these people cannot. They have no room to be like shocked and horrified if charges were to be thrown at these people. I mean, the Biden administration was throwing little old ladies in jail for
that's because they were insurrectionists, Dan. They were breaking into the Capitol. I can't believe you can't see that. And Ashley Babbitt was a terrorist.
Journalists got arrested for January 6th.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying, Don.
It's
Don Lemon.
The whole thing is we are at a particular place in space and time where it smells like a reset is needed. And I don't know what it looks like, and it might be the attack from Mars. It might be Yellowstone erupting. It might be Jesus coming down and saying, all right, we're done here. And, it could be any of those things. But things are much like the Hadron Collider. We're racing at each other at full speed, and something's going to break. And it's scary.
No argument
what's
here.
happening on the What's happening on the QuickStart podcast today?
Well, as I mentioned there, we did talk about this, about Don Lemon and Keith Ellison, actually, in particular, and all that. Also about the dozens of Christians who were abducted in Nigeria. Craziness continues going on there. We also talked to Franklin Graham about a number of things. So it's all coming up.
Franklin Graham is like morphing into his dad. He looks, when I see him, it's like, you see, isn't it weird? I mean, I know it's father and son, right? But it's still weird to see Billy Graham again. Now it's Franklin. They look alike. That's weird.
Spit an image.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Dan Andros again. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
And, if I see Don Lemon, I'll give him your love, or a punch, whichever comes first.
What do you mean it's last call?
I know it's not right to want to hit somebody.
Yeah, but sometimes people just need to be hit. I'm telling you.
You think Don Lemon's ever been in a fight?
Yeah, I do. People don't get to
I don't mean a cat
to
fight.
this place in their life without having been in fights.
That's 2 hours right there of cat fights, audio deliciousness, and peaceful protesting. We like to call it the Daily Mojo for Tuesday, the 20th day of January, the year of our Lord 2026. And there was a lot to be learned on today's program. Over in the Rumble chat room, I can forgive a lot, but certain things I don't think I can. Missy, I told you it was an accident and I would never do it again. And if you can't forgive me for that, I mean, I don't. Did I really hurt anybody? Nobody, just pride. Freebie38 says, only women who have experienced natural childbirth without any drugs can begin to understand what men go through when they are sick. He's right. How did I not see that before? And how did you so succinctly describe it so well, Freebie? We should just stop right there because nothing is... Yep. Over in the Daily Mojo chat room here, there's the memes, and Cougs is over there. Brando G is over there. And on the X, which I've been a little deficient. Toby says that church's pastor doesn't know the Jeffy rule. Just because someone puts a microphone in your face doesn't mean you have to
That's
speak.
true.
We brought that up yesterday, and it's true. Although I would be tempted to talk to him in that situation because, Don, you realize you're being a dick in here, right? Because they'd be like, oh, can't believe somebody said that in the church. Yeah, it's because you're being a dick, Don. Pickled Squirrel, all this talk reminds me of the campy TV movie Annihilation Earth. Terrorists blew up a super collider and destroyed Europe. Not saying that isn't predicting the future, but I am saying that it when you have little bitty tiny things you can't see running into each other full speed, and
that's a fact.
You don't know. I mean, you think hell hath no fury is out of a woman and all
that.
Let's just say, we the people must hang together, otherwise we shall surely hang separately. Sic semper tyrannis, resist stupid, and Don Lemon, and good night, Doctor.
Wherever you are. See
Don Lemon.
Watch and listen at thedailymojo.com.